Hello everyone, this is Flashy Gordy. I'm here with Carl, Crypto Carl's Corner, Carl Jenster from Aryze. And we're talking today because they just launched the new STO following the launch of their new white paper, which is launched through Malta, following the prospectus directive from the EU and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I can just say the whole one-liner.
That's good.
So our STO is launched in a what we call a dual tranche. So it has one element for EU and other nationalities investors, and then there's a tranche for US investors, and it's a regulated offering for accredited and qualified investors, meaning that in order to receive our white paper and participate in the STO, you have to be a professional investor, which means a couple of different things according to if it's EU or US. But essentially, it's like to prove that that you have a net worth and you have done professional trades.
Yes.
That qualifies you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to be an accredited investor, which means you have to have some experience of trading, you have to have some amount of money saved up and be earning some amount of money, and the minimum amount to invest in this STO round. What is that?
So that's $100,000 we're looking for. This is, technically that's not the bare minimum as according to the regulations, but it's also for our own time management keeping.
Yeah.
That if we were to allow investors to invest much less than that, it would take a lot longer to raise the money. Let's say like that, because it is a lot of money that we're looking for. So we have to be prepared to entertain the investors and to give them as much due diligence as possible. Which it takes time, but we're prepared for that.
Definitely. And you had your first investment round earlier this year.
Yeah, we finished in January. So we raised $1.6 million.
Yeah, in a bear market.
In a bear market, yeah, it was a brutal crypto market. Not the best time to be raising money from the crypto scene, but in the end, we did it. Thanks to our Danish crypto communities. A lot of respect to Bitcoin Talk Denmark.
And you also got some investments from some traditional investment.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. So Keystone's group in Denmark, some more traditional investors. They also invested in our ICO, and we're very, very pleased with the amount of care that went into doing it. So that was really cool.
So you had your first round of investment. You raised an astonishing 1.6 million in one of the baddest time of crypto. Yeah, and then now you've been working on your white paper. You've been working on the development of the company, of the software, of everything that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And today you're launching the white paper, and you're also looking for new investors now. The investors you've been already talking to about this new investor round. What's your general feel? Are they from inside the crypto world, or is it more from the traditional investment world?
It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
It's definitely some of the venture capital and some of the more traditional guys that we've gone to and tried to raise some interest from have. It's not the first time that they've heard of crypto. These are smart guys, so they've done their homework on what the technology is. But the impression that we get is lots of them are interested. They want to look into sinking their teeth into this market.
Into Aryze. Buying the Aryze token, which is the one that's offered.
Yeah.
And as you're providing payment solutions and modular solutions, it's like the payment industry, all this kind of stuff, the token that people can buy is the Aryze token, which is a security.
Exactly.
And you get an access to the revenue from the company when you buy them.
Yeah. So the Aryze token is we refer to it as a utility/security token, but we've chosen to go, all in with regulating it as a security token.
Yeah.
And that is, in the eyes of the SEC, they've come out and said, I think it was 99% of all the utility tokens were securities.
Yeah.
So we've just said, all right, well, it is what it is. We think of it as a utility as well as a security, but we've just gone all in on the security. And yeah, you're right. The Rise token is the investment token.
Yeah.
So that is the token that could appreciate or depreciate in value on the markets. But the other product that we're building is the digital cash.
Yeah.
So digital cash, as we see it, is a series of stable coins that is a true digital and accurate representation of actual cash, as is issued by central banks. So it's a digital representation of sovereign money on the blockchain.
So it's a digital representation of fiat currencies, could be dollars or euro, whatever. And then people can buy that. And we talked a bit about before about how you keep the stability on the network compared to the money. How are you handling if I buy 100 euro of your e-euros?
Yep.
How are you handling my money? How are you keeping it safe?
Right. So what we've chosen to do is actually something that's quite new. We've decided to go and have a full reserve banking model to back up our whole infrastructure. And what this means is that rather than, if you went to a bank, a commercial bank, and you wanted to put your money into the bank, it would actually, technically speaking, it would decrease in its value because they have the ability to lend out the money in a fractional reserve banking system. So that means that they only have to hold something like 10 or 12% on the books at any given time, and the rest of that they can loan out and create like investment products, mortgages, and loans and stuff like that. So in our model, 100% of that money that goes into our system, we back it up in a bank so that it is there. And in order to do this, we have a plan to acquire some infrastructure, some banking infrastructure, and that will allow us to essentially, when clients deposit money into our system, we can take that money and put it back into the central bank where it belongs.
Yeah, and then you get some interest from that.
Well, from that, we get interest. And that's actually how we can facilitate zero transaction fees. Is that we earn our money elsewhere.
Yeah. So on your platform, if we could talk about that, let's say people start to not for investors, but for people who would use your platform on a day-to-day basis. How do you see that happening, and what would the fees be? Like you just said, zero fees, and try to explain that for like the man on the street.
Sure. So we are building some products that appeal to different kinds of customers. So we have, for retail customers, you and I, we have the e-money application. So this is a wallet application that we call MAMA. It stands for Multi-Asset Modular Application. And it's multi-asset in the sense that you can hold different kinds of assets, so different fiat currencies. And down the line, even cryptocurrencies, we see that happening. And the modular aspect is that the application has different modules that it can interact with the network through. So think of it like third-party API gateways. So it's basically an interaction between the outside world and our ecosystem. We call these modules. So it's basically a way of customizing a user's application to what they need it for. So it could be like a travel app or a reward system card that they want. Now on the other end of it, it's the businesses that we want to appeal to. So it's not so much about getting a business to use a mobile application to handle their treasury. That's never going to happen, right? So instead, what we want to do is we will offer a sort of cloud-based software dashboard for them to manage all their accounts, their treasury, their recurring payments, salaries, payroll, and stuff like that. And we see all of this being enabled by our digital cash, which is a very risk-free, stable digital currency that allows us to program behavior through smart contracts.
And because you have the stability from being held up towards fiat currency, you have 100% backing from keeping it in the bank or in the central bank, keeping the whole amount of whatever people put in. And then you have the flexibility because they can travel globally, digitally, and there's no fees. So that's kind of the package.
And not only that, cryptocurrencies are super interesting. I mean, we almost everybody here in the company, we come from a crypto background. But the issue with cryptocurrency, one of the issues as we see it for mass adoption, is that it's unfamiliar to the established world.
Yeah.
It's not something that they know and they know is tangible. Like, you know, the whole problem with Bitcoin, it was, you know, it took what, 8 years for regulators to understand what it actually was. And, you know, still most of them don't understand, you know, the whole proof of work mining process. So basically we wanted to have something that had the benefits of cryptocurrency, but could interact with the real world.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I like about Aryze, that you've always been so focused on actually going out into the world and trying to build a product that can do something in the world, instead of like a lot of crypto projects looking very inside the crypto community.
Yeah.
You know, so creating some value. That's
Exactly.
Beautiful thing. But now you've been, I know you've been hard at work on the white paper since the last investment round and getting that ready. What would you say? What are the changes from the last investment round to this? What are the new things that are happening in Aryze?
Well, one of the main things is that we really took the approach that we wanted to be as regulatory compliant as possible, which, you know, in the last ICO round, we did our part in regulation, but the whole thing was still very, very new. So we focused a lot on getting, on looking at it from a regulatory perspective and saying, like, how can we do this in the best way possible where there are the least barriers?
Yeah.
Another thing also with a regulatory approach is that we've taken a look at everything from KYC, anti-money laundering, key management, GDPR, data management, and taking all of these things into account and found how we can use distributed ledgers to facilitate this kind of regulatory compliance.
Oh.
So everything from KYC, AML, key management, auditing, and solvency.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of reiterations from our previous stuff. Not all that much has changed since the previous stuff, but we've gone back and really done our homework to make sure that everything is really, really rock solid in all this.
So this process has been a lot about being regulatory compliant, making sure that everything is safe and secure before you launch, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
That sounds good. So, but I know, Carl, you're working a lot with business development inside Aryze.
Yeah.
Where do you see Aryze going in, let's say, 5 years, 10 years? What's the framework?
So, the first plan of attack is definitely to go after the US dollar for the US market, but in the not so distant future, we want to be rolling out to many currencies, because, you know, our platform is, as we see it, the infrastructure concept is very, very strong, but it's only as strong as the currencies that we can operate in, because we have to get to those markets and support the currencies before we can satisfy the demand in the market. So in 5 years' time, we definitely want to be present in about 20 different currencies across the planet. We want to have really just pushed forward with these modules in the module marketplace for the retail consumers, for the application. We want to have be satisfying the demand of a lot of multinational corporations. Because we definitely have a business to consumer strategy, where at the end of the day we want to go after retail users, but to get there and to satisfy our needs for cash flow and stuff like that, we have to go for the paying customer first and foremost. So it's free to use for you and me, but businesses, they have to subscribe.
And big corporation who's present globally, also of course a way for them to get that kind of easy body transfer around inside their and how can you talk anything about partnerships? I know you have to.
I can't disclose specifically which ones, but I will say this: we are committed to working with some very globally trusted partners. Everything from auditing, compliance, solvency compliance to the whole technological delivery. So I will say that we are working and solidifying partnerships with some big names. As I just mentioned, all this compliance stuff, I cannot say any of the names. But there's some really interesting things that are happening, and we're, once they are ready to be talked about, we're really excited to reveal that.
But you must keep compliant.
You must keep compliance. Yeah, it's all compliance from here on out. Yeah.
But if somebody's interested in investing in this new securities token offering round you are having, What should they do? How can they do it?
Right, so we can visit STO.Aryze.io. I'm sure you'll have that at the bottom of the screen. Maybe we'll open that. But they can visit that site. That's kind of our STO information page. In order to get to the next steps, you have to go.
We took a look at it before.
We took a look at it, yeah.
And you come into the site, and then you have to start giving some information where you're from in the world.
Yeah, there's an accreditation process which will basically ask you all the information that we need to know to make sure that you're a professional investor. And then from there, once that's approved, then you will get an access to a dashboard, which from there you can download all our white paper, our tokenomics, our budget and financials, which you can then read through to make qualified information about your about an investment. And also on the STO page, we have some frequently asked questions about the STO, which we've put up in video format.
And
so
you should check that out. That's
check that out.
Videos actually.
That's great.
And what about, because I've been talking with Morten also from Aryze, who's a great economics guy. I've been talking about the tokenomics with him, but I know you've also been working on it now with the white paper. And there's some really interesting tokenomics. Can you tell a bit about the good things in the tokenomics?
I'll try.
All the bad things,
yeah, no, there are no bad things in our tokenomics. No, it's we've really worked hard to make sure that we have tokenomics that are both attractive to investors, but also rock solid in terms of fairness. So what I can say is that we have partners who've helped us along with doing some advisory stuff on our tokenomics end, and they do say that it's the best they've ever seen. Whether or not that's like to make sure that we still work with them, no, just kidding. But with the tokenomics, it's basically set up that the Aryze token, that we have a buyback and burn mechanism, which is to say that 50% of our gross revenue goes towards buying our own token back from the market.
That's the thing.
And then burning it. So there are going to be a little more than 515 million Aryze tokens as max supply, and gradually, as we do more and more business, we're going to be earning more money, hopefully, and 50% of that revenue will go towards buying our own token back from the market.
50% annually?
No, it will be on a recurring basis. So not just annually. It will be basically we've wanted it to we want it to gradually go towards being an automatic and continuous process. So basically, imagine that there's an invoice that just gets paid. Automatically 50% of that will get burned.
Oh, like that?
So we would love for that to happen, but realistically speaking, on a short-term basis, it will have to be a manual process where within a given period of like 14 or 30 days that we seemingly random will burn those tokens.
But still, 50%, if it's annually, if it's on a monthly, or if it happens automatically over time.
It's still the similar result, right?
So
but we wanted to do this to basically ensure something that's similar to dividend payments done through a stock repurchase, which is not uncommon in the traditional world, but there are reasons why a company might not want to do that. But basically it's a distribution of revenue to our token holders.
And you're buying it back to burning them. You're burning them, so you're not holding them for yourself.
No, we buy them back and send them directly to a burn wallet.
Exactly.
So a burn wallet is where there are no access to private keys, where it's just it's there to be destroyed essentially. So it's taken out of the circulation, but that wallet will be available for people to be able to see on the blockchain.
So they can follow it.
They can follow along.
That's really nice, because you're making the Aryze token worth more. It's like a deflationary process, and the Aryze token is going to be also very nice for investors and also for your own holdings, of course. I saw the numbers one day Morten had worked out. I never saw such a big Excel sheet before. Crazy Excel over the whole thing, but the numbers were impressive. I have to say that. He's
nerdy, which is what you want in a CFO, right?
That's true,
Definitely.
But so we covered a bit about Aryze. If you never knew about Aryze, don't know anything about it, and you want to check it out a bit more, you can go to
Aryze.io. That's our website. You can see more about the team. You can go to STO.Aryze.io. There you can find some more information about our STO. We're also present on YouTube. We have a Telegram. We have LinkedIn, Facebook, Reddit, all that.
All over the place. You
all
can,
over the
you
place.
Can miss them.
We have a Medium page where you can read some articles. I'm typically the one writing them. So
yeah, you're writing a lot of articles these days.
Yeah.
And you were just featured in
Cointelegraph, Serbian Cointelegraph.
With the beautiful drawing as well.
Yeah, I got a very nice portrait made. Thank you to Cointelegraph if you ever see that. But yeah, it's that was very cool.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Carl. Thanks for taking the time, and congratulations with the STO, the new white paper. I know you've been working very hard through the whole summer.
Around the clock.
Around the clock, yeah. Everybody out there, go check out Aryze. They're doing a really interesting project. They're not so well known in the crypto space because they're actually out there closing business deals and trying to make something viable in the real world. You know, but check them out, Aryze.io. This is Carl Jenster. This is Flashy Gordy. Thanks for taking the time, Carl.
Thank you.
And everybody out there, see you another time.
Take care.